The Maestro.
Dirty.
Shots!
Why?
This is cool. Let it go.
How about you hold it?
There's a lady in the waiting room. She got legs that run for
Yo, welcome to my Dirty Shorts. We're hanging today with, this is the first interview format that we're doing with either my shorts or even talking dirty. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're joined today by one of my faves here in SimWorld Prep. Y'all know where he plays as soon as I say the names. We're not going to even go through the stats and stuff like that. I want to talk about the person who I've just come to really enjoy getting to know. That's the man I call CIA, Mr. Killins. How you doing today?
Hey, Maestro. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Thanks for having me, man.
Love it. An absolute pleasure. I know I'm not going to take up that much of your time here today. You're getting that schoolwork in. I love that. And I just want to see you keep doing that more and more. I want to give you a quick question, man. You know, everybody knows about the ball and everything else. Give us a talk or a thought about what you do for balance outside of the gym, or off the court, I should say. What are some of the things that you look to do?
Outside of basketball, I play a lot of soccer. Personally, I believe it's the best way to develop your footwork, especially if you're playing both ways. Whether you can be a offensive or defensive player, you have to be able to close gaps and mark your players while also stretching the field and opening up pass lanes for you and your teammates. I definitely think that's an important aspect of balancing. And another thing I also do is I play football. Now, a lot of the people currently in SimWorld Prep that are loosely related to me or acquainted with me come from my football circuit. So I've either seen them, known of them, or we've either played against or with each other on the field. And that's just one of the many ways in which, you know, you can work on balance.
Absolutely. You know, and balance is very important in every aspect of what we do. And speaking of balance, you know, I tease you for all the homework that you do. And the one thing, you always have great questions. You put a lot of thought into your questions. You put a lot of thought into how you look at the game. So I'm just going to kind of stick it ahead here. You know, what are some of the qualities you look for in a teammate or a coach for that matter, as you look at how you build your team around yourself, or how you look to build a team at all?
The main thing I'm looking for, whether it be a teammate or a coach, is the support factor. Now, there's a lot of players out there, whether it be in the SWBA, SWU, or SimWorld Prep, that are not only all about themselves, but, you know, they're not open to supporting each other. They're only focused on themselves, and that gets in the way of not only team ball, but, you know, personalities. There's no chemistry if people aren't hyping each other up. Like, hey, you know, you had a great game. I'm going to celebrate you. I'm going to prop you up. I'm going to do this and that. When I have that kind of game, I want you to do the same for me. And, you know, it has to go both ways. True. If it's just a one-way street, eventually what's going to happen is people are not going to show up for you anymore. And then you're going to be like, oh, you know, where did all my guys go? The ones that had my back. And, you know, you lose that because they're not giving the energy that's being shown to you.
Right.
Now, I'm always the kind of guy that will bat for my boys, that'll make sure that they're doing the right thing, or I'll just go out my way to reach out to them, see if they're okay. And, you know, I think that that is important in any stage of life. You have to have a circle that you can rely on. You know, you tell your problems to, they hear you, they help you resolve them, and then you do the same for them when they need help.
That's such a great point, and such well said. As no one is surprised. The clarity of your answer, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you for going deep on that one for us. Like, you know, I'm not gonna say if, but I'm gonna say when, because I foresee this for you with you know, it's kind of like that saying I came up with here for for SimWorld. You know, if you got a brain, be a coach. If you got a game, be a player, right? And you definitely have both. So when you become a coach, I'm saying when, I know I'm not trying to push you out early. So, hold the stank out for a minute there, fam. When you become a coach, what are some of the things you're going to look for in a recruit?
If I ever were to become a coach, I gotta get a dynamic scorer, whether that be a dominant post player that can work it in the front court, or a backcourt player that can also not only attack the rim, but get some shots up from the mid range and from deep. The main personality trait, though, that I am looking for is someone who's quiet. Not necessarily to the point of them being a ghost, like most people that I've seen just in SimWorld U or SimWorld Prep. But, someone that's out there that knows they're a hooper, but keeps themselves low key. That way I can be able to mold them into the kind of player that I want them to be able to guide them, etc. Because, when people get an ego, it all gets to their head, and then they get shown who they are. When it comes on the court, it just happens. Yeah. Somebody always has your number. Doesn't matter who. And when that moment happens, you just got to eat your words. And, these things happen. But if they were quiet, they knew what they were doing, they listened to the play calls, they listened to my judgment, that's mainly somebody that I need on my squad.
Absolutely. That's such a great point. And I tell you, that's one moment, and I'm sure you've experienced this quite a bit, that one moment when you realize and you learn that you have the trust of that person that recruited you, that signed you, that brought you there. When because their livelihood's on the line too, in a funky kind of way, that they trust you like that. That is something really, really positive to look forward to, and it's just a great moment of a feeling that you just really never forget, right? So, talking about prepping yourself, all this stuff in the future, because, I already got your whole life scheduled out for y'all, 198,000 years of it. What are you doing right now in terms of, I'm not saying that you're doing the great ahead look thing, because hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're enjoying where you are. But what are you doing to prep yourself for all the next steps you're going to take, not just in ball, but in school and in life?
That's a fully loaded question. But if I had to compile my answer for all of that into one word, it would be discipline. Now, life is all about decisions, and you have to make a choice on what kind of person you're going to be for the day. Whether that be you going to school, you going to the gym, you going to work, you taking care of your family and friends. You have to make a decision on what kind of person you're going to be for yourself and for them.
Right.
Now, it could be a positive or a negative aspect of yourself. The decision is yours, but you have to be the one to make it. And in order to better my life, I have to make the right choices. I have to make sure that I am 100% behind myself, as in supporting my goals and my ideas, as opposed to me going against the grain and talking down on myself or trying to bring myself down for no reason. Everybody can apply this in their life. They can make a decision to be the man, or, just sit down and let somebody else take over. And that's the kind of thing that I go through constantly. I have to always be a role model, be a leader. And whether that, if my peers accept it or not, or if they want me to be their role model or not, I have to do that for myself so that I can be my own role model.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, totally.
I have to be able to push myself to new heights. And again, that requires me supporting myself and my goals and my endeavors.
Say it louder for the people in the back, my man. Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely right. I always got to start with yourself, Well, you've heard me say this a billion times. How you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So, let's step out of the deep just a little bit here. Okay, because I like even numbers. I got 3 questions for you, and just have some fun with it. All right. So just kind of quick snap you a little bit here. The game coming up this weekend, got to talk about that, but we're not going to really talk about that, but you know what I'm saying. Um, Kai, what are, let's say, the last 3 books that you've read?
Well, I really don't want to talk about schoolwork, but the last 3 books I've read have been Solo Leveling, The Beginning After the End, and Aowashi. Solo Leveling on its own is a fantasy novel based on a character who was the weakest hunter in the world that can't fight monsters to all of a sudden being redeveloped into a system designed for him to become the strongest hunter in the world. He has some tough battles, and they have an ongoing show for that. As of right now, it's probably my favorite watch.
Cool.
The Beginning After the End, also getting its own upcoming show, is set in a fantasy where a character is reborn into a different caste system, and they have to go through the means of growing up again while also learning how to wield magic and weapons. Again, that also has an upcoming show that I'm gonna be looking for. I'm super excited to watch it. And Aowashi is more of like a football/sports series that breaks down a lot of tactical stuff that has to do with football placement in soccer. If you don't know, football is, soccer, but
Oh, come on
I'm
now.
just calling it as it is. It also has a show out. You can watch it if you want to, but I think if the books ever do, get discontinued for Aowashi, that's going to be a little bit disappointing for me because, we don't know if they're going to have enough material to cover in the show, but we'll see. We'll see.
Man, as long as there's a check, man, they're always going to find material about that. I tell you, you don't believe me, just take a look at all the Jason Bourne movies coming out. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how that dude is with vehicles. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Oh, I love that, man. I love a very eclectic list. Good, that's a good pull right there. What? Okay, here you go. Here you go, Kai. You're going to win a gold medal, but you got to pick the sport you're going to win the gold medal in. Would you rather win a gold medal in swimming, or would you rather win a gold medal in archery?
If I had a choice, I would definitely take a gold medal in swimming. I've learned a lot about Michael Phelps. That's my guy. And, if you think about the conditioning that one has to do in order to put themselves in a position where they're an Olympian on that level, I think it would take a lot of breath work. That's going to help me with stamina. And personally, I love to swim. So if I could go deep sea diving as a result of the conditioning my lungs would be in, following training for that kind of experience, I would invite it.
Nice. I like it. I like the swimming thing. Swimming's always a fun way to go. All right, last one here, my man. You have a career choice. It's right in front of you. Now you're gonna be top no matter what. Would you rather be a doctor or a lawyer?
Oh man, if I had to think about personal career choice, I would love to be a lawyer. I believe I have a knack for writing, and I write a lot of words. If you know, you know. I love English, and the best parts of me being involved in that aspect of writing is being able to put information together in order to get rid of the bad guys. Now, what I mean by that is I love compiling evidence, getting it ready so that even if somebody tries to gaslight their way out of a situation, or they try to say that this is wrong, they're not who they are, or what is accused of them, just throwing that evidence in their face and then sending them on their way is just so priceless. And, having a field where I could do that on a constant basis would be just, it would be eventful for sure.
Definitely. I definitely see that and agree. And if you don't know, now you do, right? Good gig. Kai, thank you for taking the time, my man. Thank you for taking your time out of your school time and stuff here today to hang with the old guy and have a little conversation. And, just looking forward to having a lot more of these.
And Maestro, man, I appreciate you for bringing me on to this show. I love a lot of your SimWorld Prep podcasts where you drop knowledge on talking dirty, and I am just happy to be part of this experience with you all. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.
That's right, everybody. Have a good one. And, you know the deal. Never let Jason Bourne borrow your car.
Oh, wait, you want me to read?
Thank you again for checking out the Maestro's Dirty
Shorts.
Is it last call? Oh. Have you seen my glasses?
Drop a tag below and give us a piece of your mind.
The Maestro. Dirty.